I think the barrier to entry to our profession is very low.
Yeah.
And when that is the case, you will have people who perform at a very high level and people who perform at a very low level because
Correct.
people will treat it very seriously and people will treat it very not seriously.
Well, they're stealing market share from underperforming agents because they've got better internet presence, better marketing, and better dialed in systems and processes.
Not everybody knows exactly what to do. That's where you find a good mentor. But once you kind of get that in line and you do it on a consistent basis, the results are going to be there.
All right, we're going to talk about being the calm in the storm, the mindset of the 1% real estate agent, the person who's crushing it right now, regardless of market circumstances, and here's why. And I wanted to talk about this today because there's just a lot of upheaval in the real estate world. As you know, it feels like every other day we get some notification about, this company merged with this company and, these people are doing this and, it's just a ton of stuff going on in the real estate world. And, there's a lot of reasons for that. I think, it's like year over year, we're kind of flat or slightly down, depending on what market that you're in. I think a lot of companies sort of sustained through that amount of time and then said, okay, we've got to do something here. Saw maybe the future of the real estate world, and not that it's negative, but hey, how can we position ourselves for success? And a lot of that's just happening through mergers and basically sharing expenses.
Yeah. Did you see
aligning on strategy? Go ahead. What were you saying?
Did you see Rocket bought Mr. Cooper?
Yeah, man. What does that even mean? I don't even know.
Yeah, so Mr. Cooper's like a servicer.
Right.
But the thing is Rocket and United Wholesale Mortgage, the two biggest wholesale lenders in the country, don't get along. So
Yes,
they hate
that's
each other. You're either on one side or the other.
Right.
And UWM sells all their loans to Mr. Cooper. Well, they don't sell all their loans, but they sell a large portion of their loans to Mr. Cooper. So that's got to stop.
Yeah.
So you just got to see, like, where does that play out? Like, are they going to try to become a servicer? I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, there's just a ton of information. And then what can happen is, like, once that information comes out, all of a sudden, real estate agents start going, okay, what they're doing what we're doing. They're like, what does this mean? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
And so we have to sort of shift mindset in a time of upheaval and again, sort of be the calm in the storm, because most of these things that are happening, whether your company merges or whatever, really has very little to do with what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And so
they're buying data.
Yeah.
That's all they're buying.
That's exactly right. And, again, I think we talked about this a little bit last time, but the real estate agent is not going away. So if you're listening to that news, forget about it. Yes, I know there's AI. Yes, I know there's all sorts of, technological innovation. The real estate agent is not going away. The transaction is very complex. It's very situational. There's just a lot of things that happen.
I do.
In the course of real estate transaction.
So I do think the real estate agent is going away. I don't think the real estate agent is going away in our lifetimes.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think eventually we'll get to a point where things will be a lot more automated, but I don't think anybody listening to this podcast has to worry about that.
No.
And I actually don't even think my kids would have to worry about that. I just think that it for the foreseeable future, it is a relationship business.
That's right.
And it is complex enough that I don't think we'll get to a point where it's advanced enough that it could be done fully automated. I think the people listening to this podcast and your kids will see real estate agents prosper, and then over time, I think it will be the situation will be replaced.
So like 100 years from now.
Yeah, probably a little less, but yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not anything to worry about. I guess,
right. So yeah, but again, it's nothing that you need to be just really concerned about.
Definitely not.
Definitely not concerned about. And what we want to talk about today is just how to put yourself in the right framework for that. So,
in fact, this is a little fun thing to talk. Yeah. So Elon Musk kind of had this like dissertation on where he thinks that AI is going to get so good, and again, we're talking so far into the future, but AI is going to get so good that people are going to be able to use automation to make as much money as they want, and money won't be a problem anymore. It'll be boredom. Like you will have nothing to do.
Interesting.
And he said that people will just go. He thinks that mental health will suffer because you just have nothing to do.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So anyway, that's kind of why I say, yeah, eventually maybe real estate agents go away, but like we're talking so far in the future and we're talking about a different set of problems, and like it's just not even worth thinking about right now.
It was really an interesting thought process in terms of like what's going to happen.
It's just not worth your brain power right now.
Exactly. All right. So, okay. So here's one of the differentiators we have to point out. There are real estate agents that are winning big,
No
outperforming
question.
the marketplace. And then you have agents that are not doing anything at all. And then we've talked about this before too, but like 75% of agents in 2024 didn't sell anything. And then you take another subset of that 25% that did, and then how many of that's like less than 2 houses? But you have agents that are just really, really winning at a high level. What's the difference between them and the people that aren't selling any houses, or even the people that sell 5 and the people who sell 25? What's the difference? And so I wanted to just talk about that for just a second. The first thing, well, first of all, they're stealing market share from underperforming agents because they've got better marketing, they've got better internet presence, and better dialed in systems and processes. Okay, so basically, the top performing real estate agent, their day is very dialed in, right? They have time set aside every single day for lead generation follow-up. They have time set aside every day for consistency in marketing. And here's the other thing. They are tracking everything that they're doing. So they know, okay, well, how many sales calls, how many appointments set, how many appointments met, and then what is that how does that filter through the pipeline into closed transactions? And so a really, really good real estate agent right now knows their numbers, plain and simple. And they understand that the fundamentals of lead generation and follow-up cannot go away, right? The fundamentals of staying relevant through marketing, that's not going to go away. If you focus on nothing else, focus on getting your sales and marketing processes correct, and not, worried about, or not waiting for something to drop out of the sky.
Yeah. This data would probably be easy to find, and I'd be anxious to see it. So yeah, we see the statistic, right? Like 75% of agents didn't sell a house. I wonder how many of those were in their first 2 years of business.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
I mean, it would be easy to find. It's probably out there. Somebody's probably commenting right now that's saying how many of them there were. But like here's the thing, and I've said this, and I don't think you fully agree with me, but like I think the barrier of entry to our profession is very low.
Yeah.
And when that is the case, you will have people who perform at a very high level and people perform at a very low level, because people will treat it very seriously and people will treat it very not seriously.
That's right.
And so, you have agents out here that this is their career. They are a C-suite executive of real estate.
Yes.
And they treat it like that.
That's
and they
exactly
show
right.
up to work every day and they do what they're supposed to do. And this is their job. And then you have other agents that say, I better get my license because I'll probably know a person or two per year that may sell a house and I'll be there to help them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you treat it like that, you're not going to sell any houses.
That's exactly right.
And in fact, the people that do know you that might use you probably wouldn't, because you aren't treating it seriously.
Yeah.
Because how many of you have gotten a notification that your friend bought or sold a house and they didn't even call you?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, there's like little subset of people who are like, I just want to be word of mouth. I want to be word of mouth. And it's like, yes, we all want to be word of mouth. We all want to be referred out. We would love to have so much business that's coming to us that we don't actually have to do anything to get it. But the reality is, in today's marketplace, you're going to have to do marketing.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to do sales.
And we're not even necessarily attacking the people who sell 2 or 3 houses a year. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's great. All we're doing is like putting a label on the people that want to sell 20 houses a year and aren't selling 20 houses a year versus the people that are selling 20 houses a year. And really, it really just comes down to how seriously you take the business. And not everybody knows exactly what to do. That's where you find a good mentor.
Mm-hmm.
But once you kind of get that in line and you do it on a consistent basis, the results are going to be there.
Yes.
There's no question. I mean, it's almost inevitable.
Yeah.
It's just how good you get at it over time and how long you stick with it. Because we also know that first 2 years of business are going to be rough. I don't care how hard you work. Mm-hmm. But, year 4, 5, 6 usually you get significantly better.
You get some momentum. But I want to point out something you said, which was people who have decided that this is their career. And we have a term for this. It's just called a career agent. They understand that this is what they're going to do every single day. right? As a real job, like they show up and they go to work and they do their stuff every single day, and they are ritualistic about their processes. This was something I got made fun of for the other day. I don't really do anything on Sunday nights because I use that time to get ready for the week. So I'm prepping for my week. So I do my
email,
clean out all my email. You've gotten all those things for me on Sunday nights. I clean out all my text messages.
Thanks, Brandon. I sent that on Tuesday.
Look, you can turn off your email. But yeah, so there's like all of these, I do a planner and all that stuff. And somebody was making fun of me recently. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to interrupt your planner night. And, I kind of laughed about it. But I understand that people don't get that. But that's a ritual for me. And if I don't do it, my week's not going to get off on the right foot. And there's a reason that I do it on Sundays. It's because, typically not much is going on. It's right before the week. I've had some time to reflect over the weekend. And that just works for me in terms of my ritual. And then I really don't let very many people get that time unless it's some sort of crazy extenuating circumstance. But for the career agent, they are ritualistic about their processes. They are ritualistic about their days. And they know what happens on Mondays and Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays, regardless of what their buyers are doing, regardless of what their sellers are doing. They have a dialed in system, no matter what.
Yeah, everybody does.
And so, if you're going to be a career agent, you have to have, you've got to be a dynamic and effective time manager, and you've got to know exactly what happens in the course of your workday, whatever that day is. Okay?
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong necessarily way to attack the day either. I mean, Brandon and I attack the day very differently.
That's right.
But, they can both be effective. It's just making sure you do have something that works for you and puts you in the right,
when you say
headspace.
we attack the day differently, what do you mean? Like, what are you saying?
Like I'm more of actually, you're very similar to Anna Lauren. So you guys are more time blockers, right?
Yes.
So you have time blocks that you want to work on things.
That's right.
I know what priority I want to do things and how long they take, and I snap them in all throughout the day. And I don't like to wait until a certain block to do a certain thing. Mm-hmm. So it's just different. It's not right or wrong. No. Mine's not better or worse. It's just different.
You're right, and your methodology seems chaotic to me because my brain is not going to switch gear. I have to get my brain in the right gear to do that type of.
I guess that's a better way to say it. Yeah. So I can pull out, and actually, there used to be a guy that worked for me in the corporate world and he was a developer, so a coder, right? Yeah. So if you pulled him out of something he was working on, like he was deep in work, you came to his cubicle and asked him a question, it would ruin his day. Mm-hmm. Not in the sense that he was going to be mad at you. It was just one of those things where it's it took him too long to get to that point, and he's now exited and he couldn't get back. Yeah. And so that's not the way my brain works. Mm-hmm. So I can switch tasks and pretty quickly, and it doesn't bother me. But it's just different.
Yeah, that sounds so. That's exactly. So if people will make fun of me a lot because if I'm working on something and you come talk to me, I'm not even listening to you. If I'm deep into whatever I'm doing, it's basically you're a white noise to me, and people will say, they'll have to come to me and say, hey, when you get a second, need something, and I go, okay, great. But I have to finish that particular deal. And I'm the same way. If I kind of get off task or something, it takes me too long to get back into it. So
yeah, I mean, and I'm actually not, I actually sometimes enjoy disruption.
Yeah.
So you might be this way too. My wife is where if you disrupt her from doing something and she has to go drop it and do something else, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Whereas I sometimes all right, I've been working on this for an hour. So the disruption's great. I can go do this real quick and come back.
Right.
So,
right.
Just different.
I was talking to my dad the other day, and he had sort of a shift in mindset, and I want to talk about this because I think it's good for everyone to hear. And one of the things, so my dad's in construction in the DFW area, and so, as you know, in construction, you're going to have punch list inspections, and these things are the worst because you've got everybody coming in, and they are looking to tear apart. It's looking for every nook and cranny, anything that's wrong on this punch list. And so my dad was like, man, I was just sort of dreading it. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Really, I can just kind of change my attitude and how I approach this and visualize a different outcome and then basically be the facilitator of that different outcome. And so he said when he did that, that switch in mindset completely changed the outcome and the interaction with all these people he's doing with, interacting with, and things went tremendously smoother, and it was a fantastic interaction. And so that brings me to the next point is understanding how to visualize your next day and how you want it to go, and to think about your attitude in the way that you're going into those things. Because if you go into them in their drudgery, you're not going to have a good outcome. If you can switch to that, visualize and think about it, hey, how am I going to approach this thing? So that's why, to me, time blocking is incredibly effective, because I can look at, okay, what meetings do I have? And then let me visualize for a second how those things are going to go. And I can promise you, they're going to go so much better just by thinking through them.
Yeah.
So I would say the people who are career agents visualize those things the night before. That's a really good practice to get into. Okay. The other thing is always learning, always improving, and trying new things while sticking to the fundamentals. So there's lots of new stuff thrown at real estate agents. You want it, but I want to focus though on improvement, versus, and I want to be really careful. I do think that you should learn and try new things as a percentage of the overall things that you're doing. But I think a lot of our success is dependent upon improving in a particular skills. So you want to be thinking about like, hey, your scripting, your role play, your conversion, your conversations. If we can improve those things little by little by little, you're going to start to have some much better ratios in terms of conversion just by focusing on skills and improving those skills. And I think about that in terms of, I was thinking about Alabama football the other day and Nick Saban, and he was always focused on the process, not the outcome, right? He's like, we're going to work on these little processes and focus on getting good at that, and the outcome will happen.
Yeah.
And you probably saw that in professional cycling too.
Yeah. I mean, I think anytime you too often switch gears to do different things, thinking that the next thing's going to work.
Yeah.
You kind of, I can't remember the graph, but they call it the valley of despair, because like you keep trying new things and you keep falling down to the bottom, and you never like continually work harder to try to figure your way out of whatever it is you're doing. And it's kind of the same concept, right? It's like if you keep switching lead generation systems or doing different things or stopping this or stopping that, you'll never, at some point you have to iterate so long that you do improve, and that's the only way out.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So that's why I want to be careful. It's like, yes, you are going to try new lead generation, platforms or something like that, right? But you have to stick to the fundamentals of the things that work. So, I'm trying to think of a better way to encapsulate that. I hope it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think there is one. I mean, I think it's just, if you decide not to block and tackle is what they call it. And like, when you're teaching football or whatever, if you decide not to work on the basics on a daily basis, whether it's, improving sales skills, on the phone skills, all these different things, and those never get any better, then it almost doesn't matter what you try, because those are the skills that you need to excel.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so a career agent keeps up with market changes and keeps up with market news, but sees it through a different lens. And what I mean by that is, hey, we're getting bombarded, whether it's Inman News or real estate news or whoever you get your real estate news from, we're getting bombarded by these folks, right? With any chance they get, because that's how they make their money. Any chance that they have to put out a story, they're going to put one out. And if it's just a disruptive story, they're going to put that much more emphasis behind it. But what a career real estate agent needs to be thinking is, hey, how do I affect my personal economy? And so this news or whatever, Rocket and Mr. Cooper, or I don't know, whoever Compass merged with. I mean, there's so many I've even lost track.
Delinquencies are way up.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Any of that stuff. Look, I'm not saying that you don't pay attention to it or ignore it or stick your head in the sand, but for the most part, it should not affect your daily work, and it should not affect, the things that you're doing day in and day out.
The best way to think about this, in my opinion, is that there are always, in any market, I don't care how bad it is, people who need to buy or sell. Always.
Mhm.
Those are the people you're always speaking to. So, like, what can you say about the market to those people, to the people that need to buy or sell in a market like we're in?
Mhm.
And those are the ones you talk to.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the fact that people are saying FHA delinquencies are way up, or affordability's terrible, or interest rates are not coming back down. All these things, somebody needs to buy or sell.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that stuff. Talk to them.
Yeah. I was thinking about, so Nick McLean put this out the other day, and he was talking about, hey, they saw some stuff come across in terms of like market numbers, and he goes, all right, so what we're going to do is we are going to increase our daily calls by 25%, and then we're going to double down on our conversion conversations, right? And how we convert people. So the training around converting people. So we're going to focus on that. And then they're up 30%.
Yeah. I
Right.
mean, well, there's a good example of your last point, right? So, like, if you were to say, hey, none of these leads are converting,
Yeah.
right? If Nick McLean, who you just talked about, said, hey, none of my leads are converting, so I'm going to try a new lead system.
Right.
And you shifted and tried a new lead system instead of
Yeah.
having a better conversion rate and making more phone
That's
calls.
exactly right. Yeah.
Then, you would probably be stuck with the same poor conversion and the same number of phone calls in the new lead system.
Yes.
So that's a good example of, hey, like, don't always say, shiny object. I heard these leads convert better. Work on your own conversion. Work on, your own number of phone calls, and we can go from there. Nice.
Yes. Spider. That was going crazy. But anyway, no, you're absolutely right. And I thought about, I was like, yeah, you're really not, it was just a couple of changes where he's having a completely different outcome, and he's not taking that information and just going, oh man, the market's bad. This is going to be bad for my business. He's going, what do I do here to adjust and improve? And guess what? What he's doing is he's taking market share from people who aren't willing to do the work.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's just how you have to think about it. You have to think about, not, hey, this is terrible. Oh, the market's bad. And think about, hey, what can I do to improve and win no matter what? And so that's what I'd have you do. All right. What any final thoughts on this?
No, I think that was my final thought when I looped it back from the Nick McLean story.
Well, I got off track because I killed that spider. It was just crawling all over you. So anyway,
it was my pet.
Anyway, all right. Well, you guys, hey, stick with it. Stay on top of it. Let us know what we can do. Hey, we're launching the Vault coming up here in just a couple of weeks. If you'd like to have access to us a couple of times a month, access to all of our training, we're going to be launching that pretty soon. So we're excited about it. Get ready for it. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.